It's funny, both of us have metallic on our mugs.
Yeah.
That's dope. So welcome to Coffee on Camera. We just made that up. But so I know that we were going to link up today to talk about a few topics. Um, show a few things that we like. I'm in my bedroom right now. I covered this side up because I didn't want you all to know I had a microwave and a refrigerator in my bedroom next to my bed. So I covered that up with a blanket. But yeah, I will pass it over to you, Sweet TV. What did you want to talk about this morning? Let me drink this
I
coffee.
honestly don't know what you're gonna ask, so whatever, I'm trying to embrace myself.
Are you nervous?
Um, I still got a little ambient in my system, so I'm not. I'm super relaxed.
I want to ask you a few questions.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of like what's that?
What's
What's
that
that?
body butter?
Yes.
Is that that's honey? Yeah, I know that.
And
Yep, I use.
you see how empty it is.
Yep, I use that too.
It's practically empty.
Shout out to honey babe.
This is the sweet
Yeah,
laughter, my favorite. Um,
I gotta order some more.
so people are asking me questions. People have been asking me questions of, you know, how do you guys know each other? And, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, not like 21 questions, but what's that song by 50 Cent? Is it 21 questions?
21 questions.
Okay. Though it's not gonna be 21 questions, but I want that to be at the top of your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So how did we meet? Do you remember how we met?
Um, I I don't remember. I remember around the time we met, but I don't remember how we formally met. And who introduced us?
Well, my husband and your cousin. That's how we met each other because my husband and your cousin are best friends and you are part of the best friend pack.
Right, right,
Like it
right.
because me and AV were dating and we met when me and AV were dating. But I don't know the official scene. Like I don't know the official moment. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I see. I remember it differently.
how do you
You
remember
know
it?
where I think we met? I think we met at one of those dinners at our friend's house. I don't know if we should say his name,
Oh, we
but
shouldn't say
remember we had a friend that would have dinner. He would make dinner like once a week. I
yes.
think that's how we initially met.
One of those.
Huh?
I've never been. I've been to. Oh, I've been to that particular friend's place when they moved.
Oh man.
'Cause it was okay. Well, I think I know. I think I know because it wasn't their first house. It was their second place.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Well, we'll never get down to the bottom of it, but but that's how I remember it.
We go way back.
Um, way back, way back.
Way back. Way
And
back.
then we have a lot of mutual friends and stuff too that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Esther and everybody,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah.
Out of all of your achievements, what are you most proud of?
I'm trying to
Take
be
time.
honest.
Be honest.
I'm trying to be politically correct too.
Don't be politically correct.
Okay, there's two things.
Mhm.
One, my business. I was super nervous to venture into being a hairstylist. I didn't want any like negative stigmas attached to it. Although it is what I wanted to do. Initially, I wanted to be a barber, but then when I decided to be a stylist, I was nervous about it. Um, but I'm glad that along with the people who support me in my life, helped me and encouraged me to just go for it. And I'm happy that I did that because I remember the day that I decided. to go to school and data. I mean, I don't know where I would be if I didn't do make that decision. I don't know what I would be doing, you know. So I'm happy that I'm doing what I'm doing. I feel like going to school, getting licensed is my biggest accomplishment. Um, because it's afforded me to do so much. It's afforded me to travel, work in different countries, work all over the world. Like I've been able to use my craft and travel um to Europe and to Brazil and all over the country. I don't know what I would be doing um if I didn't go to school for this. And then my other one is not having kids. I'm so happy that I don't have kids.
You make me so sick.
because because that's another thing. I feel like I wouldn't be able to you know, I like to hop on a plane and fly out and do this and that. And I feel like if I had because I really did want kids at first, but if I feel like I did, um I would be stifled a little. And so I'm happy that I have a bunch of nieces and nephews.
And mine is
My
one.
two greatest accomplishments. That's right. Where do I
What's
want
the
to see
question?
myself in 5 years? Um, I'm trying to give. I have to answer these questions without thinking about it. To be honest with you, to be 100% honest with you, I've reached my goals. Um, and I'm happy exactly where I am. I do
Whoa.
not. I don't want to be in a bigger house. I don't want. I love my car. I don't want to be in a bigger house. I don't want a different job. I love what I do. I love my clients. I love my family. I don't want anything else. And so I really don't have any more goals. I know that's not too good to say, and people look down on that. But
No, I
in
think that's
5 years, I want to be right here.
I love
And
it.
I'm trying not to give politically correct answers. To be honest, I want to be right here. I don't want um I like where I am. I like it, you know, I'm not trying I don't want anything more than what I have now. I love what I have and what I have accomplished, what I'm doing, and I hope that I'm in the same place cuz to me sometimes change isn't always good. So, yeah.
Love her. And to be honest with you, I know you said like that's probably not something people want to hear. I think that's something a lot of us need to hear because you kind of feel like you're obligated to say more. Like,
Right.
oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do. But to be satisfied with where you are and truly feel accomplished and fulfilled where you are, that's powerful.
Yeah. 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 I'm happy. I don't need anything else. I'm good. I mean, even now like we were in a home. Like you've been in a home before. Um but we're in an apartment now and I prefer that. You know what I mean? Like you know, we simplified a lot and which I prefer. It allows us to move around, do this and that if we need to, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I tell people all the time like I am good right here. I don't need anything else. So in 5 years, I hope you know, of course, there's always things like, oh man, my credit could be better, or oh man, I wish I could be doing this spiritually, or I wish, but like if we're talking materially and career wise, I'm good.
That's a perfect answer. This is a less serious question coming. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
I'm sorry. Can you hear my phone blinging? I'm sorry. I'm trying. I've tried to mute it. It's
Oh,
not working.
it only happens when we get on Zoom. That always happens.
I
My
mean, I
phone does the same thing.
feel like you in the last segment we did. Like you had a hotline bling. I was like, dang,
Right, right.
I feel special. I feel
If
like
my
you over
phone
here.
rings again, I'm putting it on. I'm gonna put it on airplane mode if it does that again.
Oh wait, so that's what this is. Because I'm like, I muted it. Okay, let me do airplane mode. That's what it is. Because I'm like, I muted it. I turned it down. I turned it like, no, it's still coming. I just put
What is it? What kind of notification? Is it the president?
on. No, I don't
Oh,
know
it
how to
must be
do it.
AV.
It's not. It's not. Oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing. Okay, now maybe this will work. Okay, hopefully that'll work. No, Jay, I promise you, I cannot make this up.
What kind of notification is that?
I met text messages. Shut up. Shut up.
If you ever miss one of my text messages, I know you're lying because your phone always goes off. I'm gonna be like, you lying to you because you did get my message.
Oh, I tried to turn it off. I'm sorry. But what is your favorite season?
Fall
Hmm.
because to me fall signifies like a new year, and I think because growing up, um, fall is when you would start school. So you get all your new clothes. Like to me, January is a new year. Like to me, fall is a new year.
Right.
You get all your new clothes, you get all your school supplies, and you're literally starting a new year. And starting a new school year is significant. So I think that just stuck with me. So now fall to me is my favorite time. It means a new start. So whatever happened last year in your school year, you get a start over, unless you got to repeat the grade. And then you get the leaves change and the weather is perfect. The weather is perfect. It's like leave it the way it is. The weather is perfect. Leaves are changing. I love it.
And then what is your favorite hobby in the fall? Like, you know how like that's the pumpkin spice season and Starbucks has all these fun drinks. Like, what is your, I don't even want to say your sweet
What
spot,
do I
but
look forward to in the fall?
yeah.
What I look forward to in the fall? This is hard because yeah, all that stuff gets released, and I mean the pumpkins. I do like the food in the fall. Like you can, okay, I know what mine is. Mine is taffy apples.
Oh,
Mine is taffy apples. So I will eat taffy apples until I get sick. But you can really only get them in the fall. You know, like the Appy Tapper ones that you can get at the grocery store. You can really only get them in the fall. And then they used to have the fundraisers every year. The thing is, it's my favorite time of year, but it's also the one I hate the most because I love everything about fall except Halloween. I do not I do not like Halloween. It just blows me. And now living in Texas, in the neighborhood I'm in, they love Halloween. Like there, I was jogging one day and there was like fake eyeballs in the street, and then people are dressed and they are dressed in full gear and they have like the legit real makeup. And I was like, why do people think it's okay to walk around looking like they've been shot in the face and stuff like that? I don't like that. I have that's a whole nother zone,
that's
but
rude.
I
That's
have a huge issue with that. So that's the only part that
this
I
is
hate.
this is back to serious now. Well,
Okay, back to
it
serious.
doesn't have to be serious. It could be however you take it. What advice would you give the 30-year-old you?
Hold on, I'm sorry. It just says stimulus deposit started overnight. Okay. Hold on. Let me check
Like,
my bank account. Let's see here. Hold on, because this is
no wonder.
serious. Hold on 1 second. Because if I hit my stimulus, I got to get off Zoom because I already know what I want. All right, it hasn't hit yet. Um. Uh.
You're a mess.
What advice? Okay, so I'm 35 now, so that's 5 years ago. Um. You know what? This is another answer I don't think a lot of people would agree with, but I would say, um, do not live like today is your last day at all. Plan for the future because so many people have that like, oh, like you got to live for now. You never know what could happen. You never know. Look, chances are you're gonna live till you get old. I mean, those are so you have to. I mean, or at least for the next. I mean, we don't know. So you have to plan for that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think at 30, 30 was a really good year for me. I learned a lot when I was 30, but when I turned 30, I went to Vegas and I spent about a week out there by myself, and I learned how to go out to eat by myself, how to go to a movie by myself, because those are things I had never done. I was never the type of person. I judge people who go out to eat and they're sitting there by them. I'm like, man, you don't have one friend you could have called to sit down and have dinner with you, like you sitting over there by yourself. So I was like, I need to get over that. So I learned how to go out to eat on my own, how to go to the movies by myself without, I had to get over that. But one thing I had a bad habit of doing is just like living for that day or living for that week, spending whatever I had, and just trying to enjoy myself as much as possible. But at the end of the day, like I could have been building up for my future and putting away and setting up. And so that's one thing that I've learned how to do much better now at 35. So that's what I would tell my 30-year-old self. Like, look, dude, don't live like you're about to die tomorrow. You need to put stuff to the side. You can't go to everything. You know, don't worry about all that. Try to live like you're going to grow old. Try to put things to the side. Try to plan for the future. I think that's what I would tell myself.
I think that's powerful. I mean, and
Yeah.
then what you said, would you have still gone to Vegas and still experienced that? Yeah,
Yes.
because I
Yes.
think that's
I needed
important. I
that.
think people don't do that enough. Like spend time with themselves and
Yeah.
get comfortable with their space. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we feel like we need fillers. People fillers.
Okay. So there's there's kind of a embarrassing story for how that happened. I didn't plan on going by myself. What happened was, and I don't mean to put her on blast,
Don't
but
do it.
I I was supposed I was panicking when I was about to turn 30. I was having a hard time because I felt like um I didn't have things together the way I should have in my life. And so um I was panicking. So I my cousin was like, "Hey, you know what? Everything is going to be fine." She's like, "You know what? Let's go to Vegas and we'll do a cousins trip and we'll all go hang in Vegas. We'll get a big old suite and we'll just kick it and we'll have a good time in Vegas for a week." So I was like, "Oh man, you know what?" I said, "I'm down for that." And that was like cheering me up. I'm telling you, I was depressed about turning 30. And so we planned the trip. She set everything up. She set up the room, beautiful room. Um, so everyone booked their flights and everything. So the week we were supposed to go, she called me and said, "Hey Jay, I have bad news. I'm not gonna be able to make it." And so she was like, "I just wanted to give you a heads up." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So when I got off the phone, but we were so close, I feel like she would have given me a reason, like, "Hey, I can't make it. My job won't let me get the days off. Hey, I can't make it." Something like she didn't tell, she just said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't make it." I thought she was joking. I said, "Okay." Then that same day, one of my other cousins called me and said, "Hey Jay, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it." So I was like, "Oh, this is a setup." I'm like, "Oh, they're all joking." So I flew out there anyway. And I was like, they're probably gonna surprise me at the airport.
No.
So I flew to Vegas and so I called them and I'm like, "Hey, I just made it to Vegas." And everybody was like, "Okay."
We told you we're not there. We're not
So I was
going.
like, "Okay." So I get to the hotel and I'm checking in and I was like, "Hey, is anyone else here?" And they were like, "No." And so I said, "Oh, okay." And so I'm thinking they're gonna be in the room.
Like surprise.
I don't know why. Like I don't know why I flew to, and so I get to the room and I'm in there. And so I text everybody like, "Hey, I'm in a room," and I called my cousin. I'm like, "Where are you guys?" I really thought they were there, and
Oh,
she was like, "Jay, I told you we couldn't make it." I was like, "What?"
oh.
I was like, "What?" What made it so bad, Taya, was that this was like a two-bedroom, two bathroom,
Oh,
living room. It had two balconies. It had a kitchen. Like this room,
sweet,
it was huge.
sweet.
Yeah, it was like it was legit. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was huge. And what what made it so bad, I was in there by myself. So like I felt so stupid. I felt so stupid. And I was like, you know what? Because before I played it off like, oh, I went out there to, get to know myself and learn how to do stuff. No, that's not how it was planned. I felt so stupid. And so I was like, I can either go home early or I could just chill out here and make the best of it and do everything on my own. And that is literally the week. It was like a turning point in my life. I learned how to do like go out to eat, go to the movies. I hit the strip. Like I just walked up and down, went to all these different stores, restaurants. I did everything on my own. And you know what? I ended up loving it. It was exactly what I needed. So I'm happy that that happened. But yeah, that's actually what happened.
So
And
cute.
then, like on the last day of me being there, some friends found out I was in Vegas, and a few people flew in last minute because I had the room. I'm like, you guys want to come in? I got this big old room, so a few people flew in, and we kicked it on the last day. So it all worked out. But yeah, that's what really happened.
Oh, that still worked out. I love that story though. Now, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, oh, is this the cousin, the fun cousin? I don't know her, but you tag her in some of your pictures, and I follow
Oh
her.
yeah.
I I follow her, and
Yeah.
I do not know her, but she just seems like a
Yeah.
ton of fun, and I follow her because she's
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm
My cousin Cherie.
yeah. If it's that her, if that is her, that's her.
Yep, that's her. That's her, Cherie. And she was like, it was so funny because and we've done Vegas like maybe three times after that. But we have our spots in Vegas though. I really thought she was coming and she was like, Jay, I told you I wasn't coming. And I was like, why do I thought she was kidding. And you know what? I realized like, it was crazy. I realized later, I was like, it really was on me because I in my mind just made up this whole story. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, they're all joking because another cousin, it was like three people that called me back to back that day, like, hey, we're not gonna make it. So I thought they had planned to do that just to throw me off. No.
I love Well, that was my last question for you. I have a ton more, but I'm gonna save it for another segment because we have a new year starting. Well, we might be in the new year when this is in.
Right. Right.
um,
Right.
but so I'm gonna end it here with that last question, and I have a ton more for you. So
Okay.
yeah, so we'll do a round two in a minute. I'm not gonna say when, just build your
Right.
anticipation.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, I have several more questions, and then I have questions
All right.
that were sent to me for you. So we'll do that
Okay.
next time.
All right. All right. Cool. Hey, I appreciate you hitting me up this morning. Until next time,
Coffee and
keep
camera.
digging for those goals.